Good win tonight. For the Hoosiers, a little bit disappointed in the way, not that we shot the three ball, although it wasn't what it was the other night, but I thought we still got great looks. They just didn't go down for us. That'll happen inside of a game. But I am disappointed with our free throw shooting. I'm not very happy with that category. We're much better free throw shooters. We work on free throws. It's something we spend time on throughout every practice, pressure free throws, you name it. And we have to be able to capitalize on those freebies. And as we move forward, going to Monday night's contest, and as we move forward with our schedule, we just got to find a way how we can step up there with confidence and hit shots. 60 points in the paint, which is tremendous. 42 2 points from our bench, which is probably a first, for us. And I thought in the fourth quarter we were trying to really play clean with those kids, and some of them were young. Lexi and Lily, certainly, and Henna were in there for a majority of the time. Mona only being a sophomore. And I thought they did a lot of nice things. I thought they were, scoring 24 points in the fourth. That's a good sign for us that some of the things that the reps that they are getting in practice, are good for them, and they're doing some good things. So on a night where we got to sit, our starters, it was great to see those other kids come in and do some good things.
Coach Tyler Tashman with the Indianapolis Star. You had talked before the season basically about trying to build chemistry with those that have been here for a while, with those that are new. Mm-hmm. I guess at this point in the season, how would you evaluate how the chemistry they've built? Are you happy with where it's at right now? How would you just evaluate it at this point?
Well, there's no question that this is a group, that enjoy being in each other's company. You can tell when they're around each other. You can tell by the way they handle themselves in practice, how they encourage one another. They're for each other. And so I think that it's moving in the right direction. I think time will tell as we move forward. Some of these minutes are going to be different, and you're always in a position where some of those kids that are getting minutes now, their minutes might look different as we move forward with the season. I hope that our bench can continue to come in and help us, but I know that experience matters. And you have to have experienced players out there on the floor to help you win games. And but they're a great group. They're very enjoyable to coach. I do think they like each other. I think we're on the right track as far as building our chemistry. But I do think it will take more games, which are not just games like this, but challenging moments for us, just to test us and test our toughness, test our grittiness, our character, because there's going to have to be some sacrifices. I've talked about that in our last two press conferences, and the makeup of a great team is that everybody buys into their role and serves their role and stars in their role, and so we're going to ask all these kids that you're seeing right now get minutes, play a specific role. I think our chemistry is off to a really good start here early.
Coach Nick Jenkinson, South Central Indiana News Network. With 12 girls playing over 10 minutes tonight and 12 girls scoring, how important was it to get the starters out with that big game coming Monday night in Knoxville?
Yeah, it was important, but you still want to make sure that there's that your starters, those kids get off to the right start and do build some momentum, and timing and pace and all of that is real important. We realize that Monday night is going to be a tremendous challenge for our team, but I think it's one after tonight's game. I think it's one that our kids are really looking forward to. And as I said to our staff, I think it's coming at a really good time for us. I think it's going to be our first true test, if you will. It's going to be early, which is tremendous. I think there's going to be a lot of great lessons learned from it, I'm looking forward to it. I think our kids would tell you they're looking forward to it as well.
Matt Seabury, Indiana Daily student. On Tuesday, you mentioned wanting to see more out of the newcomers defensively in terms of rotations and principles and fitting in the system. How do you feel they did tonight when it comes to executing that stuff defensively?
Again, without watching the film, but I did feel there were moments where there was a little bit of frustration over there on the bench. One of the things we talk about, especially with a team like UMass Lowell, was playing clean. We didn't want to bail them out. We didn't want to put them at the free throw line. I thought there were moments where, we just got beat on direct drives to the basket, and that's just me against you. Digging my heels into the floor and guarding without fouling, and so we were, a little. I thought at times guilty of maybe not guarding one-on-one the way we needed to, and put them at the free throw line more than we needed to and more than we wanted to. We just didn't feel like we needed to give them any help. We felt like if we were sound and disciplined defensively, we could get any stop that we wanted. So some of that is youth. Some of that is just not being where not being ready to guard. But it's things that we'll go back and they'll see in film. And we know this: we're going to have to defend the ball a lot better than at times. Now I'm not saying tonight. There were a couple violations which you always get excited about, but we know we're going to have to guard better on Monday night.
Hey, Coach, congratulations on the
Skip,
win.
how are you?
Good to see you.
You too.
I had a chance to ask Mackenzie about this, and she's talked about your emphasizing boxing out and rebounding, but 2 second chance points, you held them to. What have you been doing differently over the off season to put something like that into place?
It's every day we do a rebounding drill. It's the only way I know how to emphasize that is by doing it every single day and being committed to doing it every day. Some people just prefer to do it in live action when you're getting up and down the floor, but we specifically spend anywhere from 5 to 6 minutes in each practice going over specifically talking about rebounding and positions and pursuing the ball and so forth. So it's been something that we've really emphasized. I thought a year ago, we were good rebounders, but we had great rebounding guards. And now that we're without Allie, we're without Nikki, we're without Lex, who was such a great rebounder. We knew that was certainly going to be an area that we were going to have to address and rep every day. So. Hi, Haley.
Hi, Haley Jordan, Sports Illustrated Indiana. We haven't gotten a chance to talk to Yarden yet, but I'm curious what kind of personality she has, if she's similar to a Grace Berger or more like an Allie Patberg.
Wow. Yarden's funny. I can't wait for you to have an opportunity to talk to her because she's unassuming. She's particularly, she's quiet, but she's really competitive. I'll give you a quick story. When she came and she visited us on our official visit, we were playing Kentucky that night, and she got to see practice the night before. Then she came to our shoot-around, and I remember talking to her after the shoot-around, and I said, well, what'd you think? And she said, these shoot-arounds are way too long. Like, we don't do that, And so I kind of laughed. I didn't think anything of it. And then just today, it was funny, we were switching ends. We do a thing at the end of every shoot-around. I call it get your favorite shots up, and they get to spend 2 minutes and 30 seconds on one end, and then they flip. And she was walking past me, and I said, hey, so how do you think these shoot-arounds are? Are they still a little tiring? And she said, they're not tiring at all. They're just too long. So that gives you a little idea of her personality, right? She's she can I can dish it out, but she can dish it right back to me. So she's fantastic. I mean, she's a great. She's a competitor, but she wants to be challenged every day. And the thing that I love about her is that she's you can do a shooting drill with her, and she always wants to know what's the best score. That's how competitive she is. She wants to know what's the number to beat always. She's not satisfied with just the minimum, or I just got the goal. It's how can I compete every single day and crush that goal that's already been set for that particular drill. And that's what I love about her, because she's and I think that it will bleed off to some of these young kids, her team, her class certainly, but her spirit to play this game and the way she handles herself, but also the joy she plays with it is really cool for a kid her age, that's coming in here as a freshman and is off to a really good start. So.
Seth Tao, Daily Hoosier. I wanted to circle back to some of what you were saying about Monday for the Tennessee game. Obviously, it's the first real test for this group,
yeah.
And for as much as you've accomplished over the last several years, how big of an opportunity is this for the program? And do you feel like this is kind of a chance to show the country what the new look IU women's basketball is?
I don't know that I'm so I'm not interested in. I want us to play well. I want us to, obviously we've worked really hard. I've never played at Tennessee. They came here in COVID year, and it was a dreadful, dreadful game, I think, for both teams. Neither one of them, shot it very well. And so, it's a game that we I know as a staff have been looking forward to getting back on our schedule and going down there, and we know the crowd's going to be, orange and white and loud, and again, what they're, people have picked them to be a Final Four team, so it's a great challenge for us, and that's how we're going to look at it. But it's the great thing is that this is a group, Sid included, she's playing at Oregon. She's played some of the top teams in the country. Certainly Grace and Mac, we've been tested with some of the best of the best, and Chloe is in there as well. And so, I think for us it's a great opportunity. It's a great barometer to see where we are, in the last two games, we've played pretty well, but we also haven't been challenged quite yet, and so this is going to be, one of those moments where, it's going to be great to dive in tomorrow to our prep and what it's going to take to beat a team like Tennessee. But I don't know that we're out to prove anything other than we just want to prove that we're a good basketball team that can play with anybody. So,
Audrey Hausberger, IUS TV. When Grace has more of a quiet night like she kind of did tonight, what does she still add for the team on the court?
I just think there's a comfort level, I think, that she always adds just because she's our leader, she's our vet. We know when the ball is in her hand, good things are going to happen. Whether she's being aggressive and looking to score herself, or whether she's looking to facilitate, that's the one thing that she's been quietly. Just the other night, she probably could have had a triple-double. We took her out because we had the lead in hand. But her ability to share the ball and then her ability to score the ball, is pretty special. But I would say that, for me and for her teammates, it's just more of a, she gives us all a little bit more confidence, right, and a little bit more comfort, just knowing that the ball's in her hand, and chances are, Grace is going to make the right decision, throughout the game.
Hi, Coach. Justin Cohen, IU Sports Media. So when you go game weekend marquee matchup on Monday, as a coach, is there anything you have to do to keep the team focused or locked in for the task at hand, such as tonight when they're looking past this weekend and to Tennessee, or do they do a good enough job being focused and locked in for every single game one at a time?
I think this is a mature group. We've always been a program that has just tackled one game at a time, mentality, and we've always had that. We've never looked ahead at anybody. But certainly tonight I don't think it's, when I see them here in the next 10 or 15 minutes, I don't know that I'll have to give them any kind of a rah-rah speech like we're going to Tennessee. Everybody knows the history, of how great, the tradition, that they've had for such a long time and still do. And so I don't know that I'll have to, it'll require me to say, oh, by the way, let's get some rest and let's come back tomorrow. I think they already know that it's going to be a tremendous challenge. But I will say, this is a mature group. I laugh at Yarden, but Yarden's a very mature freshman. They'll handle themselves tonight, tomorrow. By the time we get on that plane on Sunday, by the time we land, we'll have a really great grasp of Tennessee, and then the hope is that we show up on Monday and all of us do our job. So,
Coach, you mentioned paring down the rotation kind of as you continue on with the season. Do you have like an ideal number around what you want the rotation to get to?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's too premature to be able to say what that number's going to look like. But I have a feeling, that Grace Berger's probably, as we move on, especially into Big Ten. Grace is in MAC, and those kids are, have been built for playing 30+ minutes, a game, and there's only 200 minutes, as I always say, and not everybody's going to, play the amount of minutes that they want. But, we found out a year ago when Mac went down, you just never know. You never know if there's going to be injuries. You never know if there's going to be foul trouble. So we just keep encouraging every one of them, just be ready. Be ready when your number's called, because you never know, when that moment's going to happen. And when it does, our hope, from our staff is that they're ready to go.